What's up, guys? It's your boy Meech, aka Grant's Vlogs, and I'm back with another video in my house, ready to dirty up my wife's living room because we're about to tear down the Schwinn so it can be painted. Let's get to it. Okay, let's try this mic indoors. You're probably wondering why there's a blue thing on here. I actually put this on here because my cat actually scratches this if I don't. It was in fact off, of course. Great, mic was off, which means it probably needs to be charged, but there's no indicator on there that it needs to be charged. So, how do I know? If you guys didn't hear me, I said this mic's probably better indoors. Because outdoors, no indication whatsoever that this thing is dying. It just has a green light, and then it's it. That's okay. We'll go back to the phone volume, which is too bad, I guess. Okay, note to self. Okay, so for some reason the mics that I got, they don't tell you when they're dying, and I think that's what happened before is that it was dying, or I unplug it and then put the thing back in and didn't turn it on. But I literally just filmed 2 seconds ago. Check the audio. Mic died, and you ain't hear, you ain't hear nothing I said. So, let's try this one more time. Except we're gonna use the old rig, where the mic is mounted on top of the phone rig that I have, and plugged in just like that. I mean, I've done this before when I vlogged. It never really failed me. So until I get some new mics, this is probably how I'm gonna have to film. Unfortunately, it's a directional mic, so if I turn my screen away or turn the camera away, I have to remember that. And yeah, we'll probably just be facing this way and explaining things. So, what I said before the mic freaking died on me was that I'm gonna be painting this frame, so I'm gonna tear it apart. Um, Start with your accessories. Take your accessories off. Once your accessories off, it's pretty much just a bicycle, besides the motor, of course. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. If you hear anything in the background, it's my wife, of course. I'm just saying. Don't be alarmed. I am not a loner. I don't. I don't just fix e-bikes for the fun. I think the only thing you need to take off on the handlebar um, is if you have the original, where there's, you know, not much to it. Uh, you just take the handlebars off or the brake levers off, and you should be fine. But that's the only thing that's electrical on there besides the throttle for the OEM one. Um, if you're just doing this to take the bike apart and do some other stuff. Don't ask me what the bolt size is or the hex nut is, because I don't remember. I don't have those on here anymore. Right, babe? Let me say the words modified.
Modified.
Couple other things that I didn't mention that I did is I put Walmart grips on here. They're locking grips, so much better than the ones that are on there, and they're easier to get off. you have the OEM grips, to get the brake levers off, you kind of have to take them off. So get yourself some locking grips to replace them, because they're shit. I hope my audio caught that. The reason why the harness is coming off the handlebar is not because we're painting the handlebars, it's just because I want to keep it all together so that I can just take it all apart and put it all in one little bundle. Smart man. Next, you want to get your seat off. Your sheet! And if you guys watch this video of putting the seat on here, you'll know it's a pain to get off. That's what she said. Alright, give me my freaking crescent back. Use Louise. Haha, that's right. You know what? I get a ratchet.
Is that the kitchen?
No. It's always a pain to get these things off. Jeez Louise. As you see, motor plugs in just fine with the controller. Boom. Easy peasy. I'm going to leave that off to the side. Rear tail light, I have to take it with the harness. And when I say jerry rig, I mean this thing is like twice as bright with 48 volts going through it. Cool. Now we just have to disconnect the brakes. And honestly, we don't need the pedal assist sensor because that doesn't actually work here. So we'll just get rid of that. It's the OEM one, so not really gonna miss it. Okay, if you're just disassembling this to disassemble it for repairs, taking the rear brake off is actually pretty simple. If you want to take the whole caliper off, you just take these two bolts out. They are a 5, I believe, the big ones. And you take the whole caliper off. With strength, of course. This is how you break knuckles. Jeez Louise! I don't know who put these things on there, but actually correct it. It's a 6. Even with leverage, I can't get them off. Insane.
Wendy's has a Pop-Tart vanilla strawberry.
Well, looks like we're just taking the bracket off. Jeez Louise. because I've never had anything like that before. Better not to do this. One of these days I'll invest in Allen socket set. That what I need for stuff like this. If you guys don't know how the bolts go back on there, there's a flat here that goes up against the bracket, and then there's a concaved one and a convexed one. I think that's the terminology, and they go like this to make one flat washer. And then there's the caliper will be in between here. The perfectionist in me really wants me to get this freaking bracket off. So, let's try it. I know I'm going the right way. I know it. I know it this time. I feel like I'm gonna break this thing. Talk about a lot of torque. These things shouldn't be on there that fucking hard. Woo! I failed that one. What the fuck did they use? Red Loctite? Oh my gosh. They didn't use any Loctite. Actually, it's blue. It's blue. Jeez, man. I felt that in my hand. Look at that. Alright, for those of you who are curious as to how the rear wheel comes off, I think I mentioned it in the last video. Just a quick video showing you guys, but there's zip ties right here. 1, 2, and 3 if you have the original setup. I just use 2 because fits better. You want to clip the zip ties, and then you take the wheel off. Don't know what size it is because I just use a crescent. Obviously, use a bigger crescent, not a stubby. But mine aren't on there that tight because I'm a human being, and these things are hard to come off. So boom. You got your nut, you got a washer here, and you got the tensioner on this side. On the other side, you just have a washer, a nut, a nut, a washer, and then you have the torque washer on the inside. And just the same over here, the torque washer on the inside. Then you take this off. You know what? I actually think this one is a 10. It is a 10. And I have a 10. It's a 10. Use a 10 mil. Loosen out the tensioner as far as it'll go. You can see the wheel's already wanting to fall off. Push the wheel forward. The tensioner should come off. And just like a regular bicycle, you take the chain off. chain goes off this way. Be forewarned, the motor cable is kind of in between the chain, so just fish it out in between the chain, and that's how the tire comes off. My tire's not coming off because of the zip ties. Zip tie 1 for me. Zip tie 2. Oh. If you have the original setup, this is also how you get the fender off. As you can see, I still have the bolts in there. There's one here. There's one up here. 2 on the side. If you guys can see that. And that's how you get the fender off. My fender is already off, so there's that. Next step to the teardown is you want to take the cranks off. I already showed you guys how to do that in the last video, but considering it's a teardown video, I'll do it once more. So once again, I don't know what size this is. Use your best judgment. And I'm using that crank puller tool from the mid-drive kit. Probably wondering why these things are loose, because they're loose. Take the bolt out. Crank puller tool all the way as low as it'll go. Thread this on here. Okay, that's on there. You want to do this. Crank it down. Why? I don't know. I like a challenge. Take that off because we don't need this. If you want one, make sure you get a KT one. And I think I'm just going to leave the bottom bracket in there. Just tape around it.
You know Gibby from iCarly?
Uh-huh.
There's a shirt for sale on TikTok Shop, and it's got a picture of him, and his is Never Give Up.
Never gib?
Never Give Up.
Gib.
Yep.
Cute. You want it?
Yeah.
I'll buy it for you.
I was gonna buy it, but then it asked for my card information, and my phone didn't automatically fill it in.
So you were like, fuck.
Yeah.
That means I can't buy it. Not absolutely necessary, but I want to keep the chain guard black, so I'm going to take the chain guard off. You don't have to take the crank off to take the chain guard off. You can actually get it through the spoke there, but I did it in a weird order, so... Just 2 Phillips head bolts that come out. Next thing you want to take off is the battery tray. So you already got the battery off, because you got the upgrade kit. But if you don't have the upgrade kit, if you want to just strip this thing down, you want to take the battery off, then the battery cradle. The OEM battery cradle has 3 screws in it. You take those 3 screws out, this one comes out. Unfortunately, the new one is not fun. It's like 1,600 screws. We're gonna use the same bolts as the OEM ones. It's a 3. No. Get in the hole. Don't you want to go to your home? Like a glove. Last thing we took off was the kickstand. Kickstand, once again, use your best judgment. Just so you know, it's a big boy. So that's off. Now we move to the front, which you guys have already seen already. But we'll do it again, because this is a teardown. And this is a 15. Front comes off. You got your nut, your washer. This is technically a like a dropout safety washer in case the bolts get a little loose. It don't like actually fall out on you. Oh. Yep, and then there's same on the other side. Nut, washer, lock washer. I guess we can call it that. It technically locks the wheel in place. Also, taking the front wheel off is how you take the fender off. This has a bolt down here and 2 bolts on the side. Have to take those off. Let's see if this one's a lot easier. Good old Loctite. But it's a lot easier, simpler. Now I'm taking the bracket off and not the caliper off of the bracket, if that makes sense. That way I can keep my alignment. the other one I'm gonna have to realign when I put this back together. Brackets off, bolts look like this. Because I keep running out of space, last thing to do is to cut this off and take the forks off. So we'll make that quick. That's the harness in a nutshell. Alright, gonna make this clip short. Take these off. Take this off. There's 2 bolts. Here. And here. Take those 2 out. Whack this with the mallet. And this should drop out. Actually, just loosen these. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. And I gotta make these clips really small. So loosen this. Take the top bolt completely out. There's a lock washer in there. Don't lose that. These come straight off. Boom. Right? And it's got 2 spacers. Don't matter which way they go. They're all the same. Then you take a bolt. The bolts out of here. They're in the back right here. Take them out. Hit this upwards because there's nothing here. They're just plastic caps. You can use your panel installation tool to knock this thing out of here. Look at that. That's it. Dual crown fork. Then you have this here, which is just a spacer. You have this in this order. This. And then in the bearing on the inside, but that'll just drop out when you I'll just lift all out of there. You got it in this order. Got your bearing, your spacer, another spacer. With that said, we're down to a bare frame. Schwinn has officially been taken apart. Sorry, this is just the cable that I unplugged. And I want to take this off the chain, but I don't want to do that in this video. But I will. So if you don't see it on there after it's being painted, that is why. There's a video on how to get that off without taking the pin completely out. So just watch those videos if you're looking for Schwinn Teardown. That's it. That's the whole bike stripped down to bare nothing for painting. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. If you have any questions, drop it down in the description below. I'll also link that in the description right there because that thing is pretty useful.